What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wall Street Custodian coming back with another video. And in this one, guys, we're going to be talking about my favorite long-term risky investment. You know, we talk about all the times whether you're doing a day trade, whether you're doing a swing trade, or whether you're investing. There's a difference. Trading, swing trading, day trading, or trades. I consider them, they're not investments. They're something that I'm not going to be in long term. Some of them do maybe evolve, but for the most part, they're just something I'll be in for a day or a week or a month or a couple months. But investing is different. Investing is something where I'm investing for the long term, and my favorite long term, high risk penny stock is iLUS. Not even a question. And I finally hit 21,000 shares. May not seem like a lot to you guys, but I only put a little bit in. Every now and then I put a little bit of money that I don't need into my TD account, and when it builds up enough, I buy a bunch of shares. The reason I don't buy it constantly with every little bit I put in is because there's that fee for buying penny stocks on TD. So I save up a bunch of money, and then I'll purchase it. So that's a big, 20,000 was the big goal. Next goal is 25,000. And this is something that I'm squirreling away. It's enough shares that I'm buying where I'm not killing myself. If it doesn't work out, I'm not going to be super upset. So I'm not betting my my mortgage money on it. But I love this company enough to continue to squirrel a little bit into there, little by little, and build up a position that I'm investing in that I am not touching for years. It's my it's my highest conviction long-term play at the moment. Listen, it may not work out, but I really do like this company. I love where it's going, and I think it's going to be a monster one day, and I'm willing to give the company the time to grow and evolve to get there. Yes, there is some things that I want to see. I want to see some more financials and numbers from iLUS, but at least they constantly update us and let us know what they're doing, and that's what we're going to get into right now. I love this company so much, and they provided an update on their second quarter plans and the progress that they've made so far, so we're going to get into that. But remember, nothing's financial advice. Penny stocks are risky, right? Because they're not on the big board markets yet, right? So even stocks that are on the big board markets are risky when we're talking about growth stocks and future growth that hasn't happened yet. So these are risky stocks. So always do your own due diligence and make your own decision whether it's right for you. All that being said, you know what time it is. Let's get into this, all right? So we're going to be talking about what they just put out. Now, this actually came out a few days ago, but with all the craziness going on and, the BBIG hype, which we're going to be doing another video about that over the weekend. I'm very happy with the close of BBIG. I will be honest, how tonight ended. I'm pretty pleased with that. Although it's actually Saturday now, but up late, you know the deal, guys, working on these videos late at night. Okay, so let's talk about what they had to say, and then I'm going to give you my opinions on it, okay? So they put out they provided an update on progress and their second quarter plans, which is good because I want to know what's going on. So they said following the submission, iLUS's submission of its 2021 annual filings and share structure update by the required date, the company now wishes to summarize current progress and outline some expected highlights for the second quarter of 22. iLUS previously announced that its audit, which I'm happy that this is happening, it's underway by AJSH and Company, is fully underway. The company expects this audit and subsequent name change to iLUS International to be completed during the summer of 2022. Following which it plans to uplist to the OTCQB. Guys, this is huge news. Let me cut in here for a second. Pink current's one thing, right? But moving up to the OTCQB is big. It's just below the Nasdaq, right? This is where another great company, IQST, is on the OTCQB. So to see iLUS getting there, hopefully very soon, is great. I saw some people say, "Oh, well, I thought it was Nasdaq next." Well, listen, sometimes these things take time. I'm okay with them making the next step closer. That's a great step, and it means they're moving forward. So let's hope this audit goes well. I mean, this is the next step. This is what people want to see. They want to see some books. They want to see some numbers. They want to see things going right. So at least this is a step in the right direction. I'll say that at least, right? We could agree with that. So iLUS confirmed that these plans are running concurrently to plans for its subsidiaries such as emergency response technology, which are also in progress. Now I know that ERT, emergency response technology, they want to spin off to the NASDAQ. So we'll see. Does that get spun off to the NASDAQ or does it also go to the OTCQB? We'll see what happens with that, right? We'll see as we get further along. Now, having completed 3 acquisitions during the first quarter of 22, which is crazy, guys. When you really think about it, 3 acquisitions, like that's awesome. iLUS also made significant sales progress within the group. Overall performance was strong and the company achieved its first quarter targets, laying a solid foundation to exceed 2022 projections. iLUS will submit its filings for the first quarter when required on the 15th of May. So that's great. During the first quarter, iLUS completed the acquisitions of Vera Drones, Curve XR, and Georgia Fire and Rescue Supply, which are all solid acquisitions. iLUS announced part of its European Phase 1 deal, which is in Serbia, on the 31st of March 22. The company plans to announce substantially more information once it takes occupation of the site. The information will include deal structure for iLUS EV technologies in Serbia and its enormous benefits to iLUS. The company will also outline more detailed growth plans for the site, as well as this is huge, release photos and videos of the facility. That's another thing that I hear people say there's no photos. This is great. So they are addressing what people say, people's concerns. We need so the audit's happening. We're gonna get some more photos and stuff. Although we did get the photos of the one that was done here in the States. I forget which one that was. One of the acquisitions. So the vehicle converters, I believe it was. You can go on their Twitter and see that. So that's good news. So all right. Following the Serbian elections, which were held yesterday, with incumbent President Vučić remaining in power, iLUS expects its larger European Phase 2 deal to complete during the second quarter of 22. I'm assuming this is the astronomical EU deal. I have not heard those words, though, in a while. So either way, it's a European deal, right? With the strong support of the Serbian government, iLUS is confident that the deal should progress smoothly following the elections. The Phase 2 deal is expected to include several phased emergency response and defense contracts. During the first quarter of 22, iLUS completed further acquisition negotiations with some letters of intent signed. We're going to be doing a video on that as well, guys. The primary focus for the second quarter remains on the progress of iLUS ERT, Emergency Response Technology subsidiary. In addition to previously discussed acquisition plans, during the second quarter, iLUS is planning to complete the acquisition of a significant wildfire company with sales in 70 countries, including the United States. The company is also planning to complete the acquisition of a well-established and rapidly expanding U.S.-based emergency response communications company. iLUS is also continuing with its due diligence on a potential acquisition with over $100 million in annual revenue. I mean, you look at several. This company just wants to make a conglomerate. You know, I hope this works out, guys, because this pumps me up to get this stock at 14 cents. If all these things come together, this is going to be a monster in 5 to 10 years. But it is going to take that much time to get there. Just understand that, like, this is not going to be overnight. It just takes common sense to understand that this is all happening and it's great. We got to see this start to gel, and that's going to take time for these companies to gel and everything to work out the way we want it to. This is not an overnight thing. This is not like a swing trade for me. This is a long-term investment, and it's risky because it's possible it might not work out. But I mean, gosh, can you imagine putting out all these things and it not being true? Could you imagine that? I can't. So that's why I'm all in on this, right? Not all in, but I'm behind the company 100% is what I should say. So in terms of progress with current iLUS acquisitions, according to the group's sales forecast for the second quarter, the outlook's very positive. Although there are still supply backlogs due to ongoing shipping and related logistic issues, travel has finally opened up, making it easier for demonstrations to take place in the projects that have been stuck in the sales pipeline to progress. The teams at BCD Fire and CurveXR are currently negotiating large orders, which are expected in the second quarter. In addition to this, Firebug, the vehicle converters, which I just mentioned, and BCD Fire are currently discussing orders for a large projects linked to the $500 billion NEOM Smart City project in Saudi Arabia. In the U.S., Bullhead Products is expecting to receive 2 significant new manufacturing contracts during the second quarter. Maybe it was Bullhead that I saw on Twitter, following successful proof of concept builds, which are currently underway. During the month of April 2022, it's my birthday month, Georgia Fire and Rescue Supply will be moving into its new 9,000 square foot facility. This move will double the area of its current facility, providing much needed stockholding capability to fulfill the current increased demand and to hold stock of additional product lines, including those from Firebug and Bullhead Products. Bullhead Products is having a new 15,000 square facility built, with the building expected to be completed in 6 to 7 months time frame. This would be in line with scale-up plans for new manufacturing contracts that are in negotiation. From the 28th to 30th of April, iLUS will be exhibiting technology from Georgia Fire and Rescue Supply, Firebug, CurveXR, 911 Inform, and a new range of wildland firefighting equipment at the FDIC conference in Indianapolis. From the 20th to the 25th of June, the company will then exhibit more technology, including the M500 rescue drone. That I'd really like to see, from Vera Drones in Hanover, Germany. Interschutz, it's called. During its January 2022 annual shareholder meeting, iLUS announced plans to create a defense subsidiary. Using its existing capability in manufacturing products for the defense sector, the company has already been manufacturing firefighting equipment and vehicles for the defense sector. However, this will soon be supplemented by defense acquisitions. iLUS is currently working on a significant defense acquisition, with discussions progressing well thus far. The targeted acquisition is strategically aligned with revolutionary technology and has a large pipeline of global sales. iLUS confirms its plans to offer shareholders. Okay, this is a question. This is great to see here. So iLUS has confirmed its plans to offer shareholders the opportunity to lock up shares in a preference category. Within weeks, the company will release information on the details and incentives for shareholders to lock up their shares in a preference category for a defined period. So if this was like a 5-year lockup for maybe you get more shares or an interest rate or something, I would do it 100%, because I'm planning to hold this that long anyway, and I'm not crushing myself with the amount. I'm not putting my life savings into this, and you know, I put what I can, and enough that it's not going to enough that I could put it. I keep loading up TD Ameritrade, buying iLUS, and I don't even look at it sometimes because it doesn't matter. It's my future, you know. So following the release of the information during the month of April 22, interested shareholders will be offered the opportunity to register their interest for the share lockup, which is expected to commence during the second quarter of 2022. So we got to be looking out for that. iLUS is currently working through the incentives and rollout plan with its attorneys, factoring in considerations and incentives related to ERT and other iLUS subsidiaries, given the immense progress that the company is making in that regard. That's a good question. So if ERT spins off, what happens if we have our shares locked up? So there's a lot of stuff we need to learn, right? So iLUS plans to announce an attractive incentive benefit to shareholders, and the subsequent share lockup is expected to cause a reduction in outstanding common shares. Interesting. iLUS is in closing here, iLUS's managing director, J.P. Backwell, commented, quote, "As stated in the most recent shareholder question and answer, released this past weekend, we have accomplished a great deal in only 15 months. And I will agree there. It's only been 15 months. You know, sometimes the haters come out of the woodwork, but my gosh, this company's only been going for 15 months. We got to cut them some slack and give them plenty of time, at least a few years to get this going. So now, although we do believe that the next 6 months will be even more exciting for iLUS and its shareholders, with everything from completion of the European deals, tremendous acquisitions, contract award, ERT plannings to come to fruition, it's crunch time for the iLUS team, and we have never been more excited. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm excited hearing them talk like this. Like, how many companies out there do we wish I would hear their CEO or their their managing director talk like that and come out, let us know, give us letters, come on, let us know what's going on, BBIG, let us know what's going on. At least I give Mullen credit. At least the CEO comes out and talks about what's happening, what they're. So I know BBIG, they can't talk about Thai because it's a quiet period, it's against the law. I get it. I get it. Honestly, I get it. But this is what I want to hear. I want to know what's going on directly from the CEO, directly from the managing director, and I want to know every step of the way. I understand what there's always going to be people who are going to question every little thing. Here's my thing. This company is amazing. They're doing some amazing things, and I am willing to give them plenty of time to get this accomplished. My gosh, it's only been 15 months and look what they've done. Can you imagine what they can do in a few years? I am definitely willing to give them plenty of time, as much as it needs, and everything they're doing is what I'm hoping for. So as a shareholder right now, I'm happy, and to be honest, I'm happy the price hasn't gotten crazy yet, because I still want to get as much as I possibly can for the small amounts of money that I do buy. So I'm happy it's not up at 50 cents right now. I want it to stay under 20 cents as long as possible, so I can keep getting as much as possible with my little $150 purchases that I do every now and then. So I know that's selfish of me to say, but for now, let's hope the price just doesn't go too crazy yet, because I know eventually this is going to go crazy one day. It's going to eventually shoot up to 50 cents and $1 one day, and I don't think it'll ever turn back. So let's keep it here as long as possible so we can load up, so I can load up anyway. Anyway, guys, that's the video. A little longer than I was planning. I have another iLUS video I'm doing this weekend because they signed some letters of intent for another acquisition, and I want to go over what that is. So next video will be coming soon. I'll catch you in the next one.